Happy Wednesday, students. Today's video is primarily going to cover the Module 1 Literary Analysis essay and accompanying annotated bibliography. Before we get into that, I wanted to talk briefly about your reading response unit. We're halfway done, a little more than halfway done by now. We are into our third of the fourth stories. I hope you are enjoying this story. Most of my students love this story. Where are you going? Where have you been? This is kind of class favorite for most of my students. All right, so reading response papers, you've all done pretty well so far. The main thing is you need to be treating these as mini essays, miniature essays. This is your practice for writing your literary analysis paper. This is getting your toes in the water of doing analysis. So the one thing you don't want is to essentially answer each question as an independent answer, like a bulleted or numbered answer, or a little short, kind of choppy paragraph. You want to organize your answers into 2 or 3 more organic paragraphs that make sense. Be sure to use textual evidence. That's quotes, examples from the reading itself to explain the why behind your answers. That's really important. That'll help you in terms of writing that literary analysis paper. Be sure you edit your paper. You should always edit for grammar, for punctuation, for mechanics, things like using quotes, capitalization, things like that. Always look at your work before you submit it. Finally, be sure that you use Microsoft Word for your papers in this class. You all have access to Word through Office 365 in your MyCCC portal. You should use Word. I've been a little bit lax. I've been letting people use turn your papers into PDF format, but I really do think Word is the easiest for me to grade. So I prefer Word. I definitely cannot have Pages. You cannot use the Apple Pages. I can't open that on this computer. And the other thing is submitting as a text submission. When you are going online to Blackboard and submitting in that text box, don't do that. You need to put your reading response paper as a Word document and attach it. All right. So you're all doing well with your virtual online discussions. I really enjoy reading them. I hope that this has been a good experience for y'all in terms of getting you to explore how you feel about these readings and also read what other people have to say, because that's where good ideas happen. I'm hoping that this is good in terms of taking the place of the in-class discussions. I hope that you all are feeling that it's giving you great ideas. So I want you to do a survey for me. It's not required, but it just takes a couple minutes. There's like 5 or 6 questions. It has to do with the platform for these online discussions, and I really want to know which one you've liked the best. We've done 3 so far. We've done Blackboard's discussion board, we've done Padlet, and we've done Flipgrid video. So go on to this link right here and fill it out, because that kind of helps me gauge what works best for y'all and which you think is the easiest and most effective and engaging. Don't forget, you've got your online discussion, which is going to be a Blackboard discussion board of the Where Are You Going, Where Have You Been story, due Thursday night. That's February 1st. And that's also your virtual assignment for the week, the virtual attendance. Your reading response paper for that story will be Sunday, February 4th. All right, now on to the literary analysis essay. So you want to go ahead and open this up and take some time to start looking at the due dates. So the first upcoming big due date is your annotated bibliography for this essay is going to be due on February 25th. So The paper itself is due March 10th. So you've got a little bit of time, but you want to say to yourself, what do I want to write this on? You have 5 choices. You can do any of those stories here within the reading response unit, but I'm also going to allow you to do, it's not here, it's in getting started week. I'm also going to allow you to choose the Stopping by Woods on a Snowy Evening poem. If you really enjoyed that, you can do your paper on that poem as well. All right, so those are the 5 choices you have for this literary analysis essay. The essay is worth 20% of your grade. The annotated bibliography is worth 5% of your grade. So your annotated bibliography, you have to have one primary source, that's the reading itself, that's the story or the poem. And you have to have 2 scholarly sources for that. You will get those sources from your coastal library, just like we practiced with our scavenger hunt. You will annotate these sources, and that will become your annotated bibliography. The essay needs to be at least 4 full-type pages. The purpose of this essay is to examine a text in order to further understand its meaning. So you're going to examine one of these stories or that poem in order to understand its theme. You want to understand how it works. So you're going to focus on the theme, whatever you think the theme is, and how the author achieved that theme by using literary devices. All right. So the way I have this organized is all the materials and worksheets you need for your annotated bibliography are under this folder. I have a PowerPoint on the purpose of the what an annotated bibliography is, and what it is in terms of this particular, how you do it, how you annotate. Then I have this worksheet, which will be due. This is something that, here's the assignment sheet, excuse me. Here's the worksheet. This will be due on February 22nd. So that due date will be coming up. Okay? And then I have a sample annotated bibliography. All right. Then the essay, same thing. I have all the materials you need for the essay listed under this folder with the assignment sheet, the PowerPoint, literary devices handout, the brainstorming worksheet 1, the outlining worksheet. I have a sample essay, 2 of them in fact. Okay. So the very first thing that will be due in this module will be your, it's a discussion board wherein you go and you post what short story or poem you plan to write on, which choice did you make, and how you think you're going to focus this essay. So that's the first thing that's going to be due on the 14th. Then you have your literary analysis worksheet due, your annotated bibliography worksheet, your annotated bibliography, and then your final essay. So I want you to spend some time going through this, clicking through. Starting next week, I will start weaving in some of this stuff for you to do in terms of watching certain PowerPoints and doing certain worksheets. For right now, what I want you to be thinking about is what do you want to write on and what might you want to focus. We still have 1 story left next week. We have Ray Bradbury's The Veldt. So we still have that. So you don't have to make your choice yet. But as you can see, pretty soon after The Veldt is due, the reading response, you'll have to have made your choice. So it's a good time to start thinking about that now. All right? Any questions, send me an email. I'm always here to meet with you, or both in person and virtually. I answer my emails as quickly as I can. Trying to get the grading done as quickly as I can. So anything you need, just reach out.